Assalamualaikum to Madam and my dear friends. Today, my team and I would like to present about responding to personal and work-related stress. As we all know, we all have been facing stress in our daily life, in house, workplace, everywhere. So it's been a nightmare to everyone who facing stress. So today, I would like to talk about stress factor. So basically, stress factor divided into two. The first one is positive stress and second one is negative stress. Positive stress means something which gives you motivation or positive energy in your daily life. For an example, going a vacation or having a holiday, or you're getting married or having children. When we see about negative stress always give you anxiety, fear, depression, mental stress, mental illness. So for an example, you fail in your exam or you fired in your workplace, you fight with your partner. There are a few examples of negative stress. So I will continue with responding to stress. Responding to stress divided into three elements, which are the stressor, your presumption, and also your response. So the stressor meaning perceive stressor as a challenge rather than a threat. Means you have to consider stress as a challenge, not a threat. Moving on to the second one, your presumption. Your presumption means our natural response to the stress is often called as fight or flight syndrome. Last but not least, your response is the way we attempt that help us to establish our mental, physical, and emotional balance. For an example, when you're facing too much of stress, you can spend some time with your loved one. That's all for me. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
My name is Nurhidayah Zafira. I'm taking the IEA. I will talk about major causes of stress. There are 8 causes. First, work-life balance. It is the most important benefit. We must balance between our work and life, since we don't want to create any family problems, because tomorrow when we go to the office, when we do our work, we will lose our focus, and the productivity will become decreased. Second, long hour irregular schedule. Rotating shift, 12-hour workdays and evening shift will add stress to workers' life. Besides, staff reduction, increased workload and pressure on the job. Most companies practicing never close economy. Third, change. Restructuring, new leadership, introduction of new system and IT will make the employees stressed, because they need to master the new technology and new system. Next, multitasking. A person doing 2 or more jobs at the same time. Communication technology leads stress because they create many distractions and interruptions 24/7. Next, noise pollution. It is the unwanted sound, such as roar of the traffic jam, loud voices or music of the people who works nearby. This will have a negative effect of the employees' emotional well-being. Next, incompetent leaders, such as the leaders fail to recognize employees' ideas or concerns, withhold information from employees, fail to clarify roles and responsibilities, and set unreasonable deadline. 7. Work family transition. forcing one to giving up something and face a change, such as marriage. When they marry, they need to focus on their partners. They need to focus. Their husband need to focus on their wife. Wife need to focus for their husband. Giving birth, they need to focus on their newborn baby. Last but not least, rumination. Incidents that replay over and over in someone's mind. This will lead to lost concentration and focus. That's all. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurin Syamimi. My metric number is DIA191002. So I'm going to continue with my part, which is warning signal of too much stress. Too much stress can lead to death, such as, and for example, heart disease, suicide, accident, cancer, and etc. There's so much case that you can look up, that you can search online, that shows stress is the cause of their death. And now that we already know the consequences of having too much stress, we have to know what are the cause of too much stress. And usually the cause of too much stress are actually continuous stress that we felt after one another problem that arise that just makes us overwhelmed by it. And continuous stress can also lead to what we call as distress, which is a negative stress reaction. And so this negative stress reaction can actually disturb our body internal balance and lead to noticeable physical, emotional, and intellectual responses. Some of the noticeable physical responses are sleep disturbance, migraine headaches, and sweaty palms or hand. Maybe some of you might have experienced it. Moving on, some of the noticeable emotional responses are mental health, obviously, memory problem, and substance abuse. So, what is substance abuse? Substance abuse is actually when a person take too much of alcohol than what was suggested by the professional. And alcohol, it could be just alcohol or maybe liquor or maybe drugs, any that is related to alcohol that is categorized as alcohol, it includes in the substance abuse. And substance abuse, what it actually can do is that it actually keeps our body in a stress state, and it actually could cause more problem than good. And last but not least are the intellectual responses. Some of it are having hard time to concentrate, lost creativity, and it makes us, the stressed person, become much more of a perfectionism. And that is it from me. I'm gonna pass to the next presenter, which is Nur Sahhida. She's gonna talk further about how to combat our stress. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurhidayah Binti Zainal Abidin. My meeting number is DIA191006, and I will proceed with my part, which is using positive psychology to combat stress. Let me tell you briefly regarding this topic. Positive psychology is the scientific study of what makes life most worth living. Study regarding human thought, feeling, behavior. We focus more on strength instead of weaknesses. Thus, we have several positive psychology that we can use in order to reduce our stress. The first point is happiness. Happiness is an emotional state characterized by feeling of joy, positive, and satisfaction. Each person has their own happiness, and it's called happiness baseline, whereby you can learn how to raise your own level of happiness. Staying positive doesn't mean you have to stay happy all the time. It means that you stay calm and positive, because a lot of people fail to accept the failure and thus overreact to things around themselves. For the next point is laugh and have fun. Experience of positivity is depend how you act and interpret the idea. In order to To create positive vibe, laughing is one of the positive psychology that you can use. When you laugh, your immune system will get boosted, stress can be decreased, and of course, can improve your mental health. And third point is commit a random acts of kindness. Having a relationship and positive connection with other people is the best antidote to life. Thus, we can act of kindness toward our friends, our family, and people surrounding. Carry out a random act of kindness will improve your emotional well-being and psychical health. Next point is be optimistic. Optimistic means that you training and control your mind to see the positive during stressful times. Optimism is a choice. It changes the way you thinking and avoid negativity. There are many way to become an optimist, which is you set more difficult goal, and you focus more on attaining those goals, and stay engaged whenever facing the difficulty. And the point is using your unique strengths. I'm absolutely agree with if you focus on what you do best and what you enjoy the most, you tend to have less likely to be stressed and facing the depressions. Because you should take some time to be really clear on your own strengths and then make sure you have ways to use them in your day. An effective way to avoid feeling discouraged during a difficult time is to set a goal. It's because it could help you to manage your time more effectively, because I'm pretty sure you wasted more time on attaining those goals. So it's simple to say that you need to set a goal and be sure to celebrate even small win. And last point is regain or let go of control. I think most people experience stress about the thing they cannot control. We try to control things because of what we think will happen if you don't. But life can be a more wonderful adventure if we focus on the most important things and then try to let go the thing that you shouldn't be worried at. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, I will continue with coping with psychological disorders. Psychological disorders occurs because of too much stress in someone's life. There are three kinds of psychological disorders, which is anxiety, depression, and also burnout. Anxiety is intense feelings of apprehension are long-standing and usually disruptive. Anxiety becomes disorders when it prevents you from leading a normal life. There are few types of anxiety, which is phobia, claustrophobia, and also agoraphobia. Phobia is an irrational fear of specific objects or situations. Claustrophobia is fear of confined spaces, while agoraphobia is fear of public places. Okay, the second one is depression. Depression is a mood disorder characterized by persistent, overwhelming sadness or hopelessness. Usually, this kind of people will think that there is no function for them to live longer. That is why depression is a major risk that can lead someone to commit suicide. The symptoms of depression is like withdrawal, overwhelming sadness or hopelessness may persist for weeks or months. Okay, the third one is burnout. Burnout is a gradual, intensifying pattern of physical, psychological, and behavioral dysfunction. The common symptoms of burnout is like increased detachment from coworkers, customers, or clients, and also increased tardiness, cynicism, and moodiness. Usually, someone who trapped with burnout will have changes in terms his or her feelings, like from cheerful becomes moodiness. So, how to prevent psychological disorders from getting worse? To prevent it from happen, there are few options that organizations or individual can apply. The first one is organizations can offer various employee assistance programs, EAPs, aimed at overcoming anxiety, depression and also burnout. Actually, this program can help employees to get work-life balance and in the same time can influence them to increase productivity in the workplace. The second one is individual. We can find web-based counseling from Google or social media. There are thousands of supports groups organized around various psychological disorders and moderated by therapists. It means that we can find it by searching at Google, or we can simply find it through social media like Facebook, Instagram and also YouTube. There are a lot of videos that shares about how to overcome stress, how to manage our life and emotion during stressful situations, and more. That is all about coping with psychological disorders. Thank you.